Hey guys, Kirk here with Motorcycle Superstore, and today we're going to talk about all new for 2016 SHOEI's new flagship helmet, the X-Fourteen. Now, this is the new and replacing the X-12 helmet. That being said, this has a ton more features than the X-12 and additionally stays at the same price point. This is amazing that SHOEI has got all the features crammed into this helmet and keeping at the old helmet's price. So, that being said, let's dive right in. We'll check out everything on this helmet. So straight away you can see that this is a very aggressive style helmet. The shell is shaped very much for the full tuck position. This is a MotoGP inspired street track helmet. This is very focused as far as what SHOEI is trying to do with said helmet. You can, like I said, you can tell this is meant to be in the tuck position, going fast down the road, MotoGP inspired, really awesome. Now, as far as the shell goes, this is a 6-layer matrix shell. Really high tech. Now, this helmet does check in 1.79 ounces less than the X-12, so that is going to put it in a size medium at 3.6 pounds. This shell does come in 4 different sizes, so your extra small and small are going to share a shell. Medium and large have their own shell size. Extra large and 2X share a shell size as well. So now moving forward, you can see back here this rear flap, or what SHOEI would call a stabilizer. These stabilizers are actually interchangeable. The ones that come with it in the box are the larger size. These are best used, SHOEI says, at high speed. So it's going to be a little bit less buffering in your high speed situations with these larger flaps on here. It does not come with the smaller size, but you can purchase them. Personally, I don't really see the reasoning behind needing the smaller flap, but if you feel like you can get maybe a little bit better turn when you're switching lanes and stuff like that at lower speeds, less buffering and such as that, then they are interchangeable. Moving forward to the front of the helmet, we are going to have 6 intake vents up front. Standard stuff for the most part. We'll kind of expand on the intake vents here shortly, but you have your 2 vents down here, open and closable on all intake vents. You got some vents up here on the forehead and on top. Around to the rear, you are going to find 6 exhaust vents on the rear of this helmet, all of which are always open. This helmet is going to flow a ton of air through it. I actually can't wait to get this on my head and try it out on the road. Additionally, on from that, so like I had said, we'll expand. This bottom vent here is actually going to flow into a new cheek pad cooling system from SHOEI. Really neat feature. So this is actually channeled directly into the cheek pads, and the cheek pads are cut in such a way that the air is going to flow through them and straight onto your cheeks and face area. This is really good on those hot days when it's just too much in the heat, especially down here in Texas. It gets real hot in the riding days in summer. And this is a great feature for guys like us down here that need to keep cooler. All right, so keeping with the outside of the helmet, one very cool feature about SHOEI in general is they actually own their own wind tunnel. So that allows them to do extensive testing as far as lift, drag, buffering, and things of that sort. That being said, the X-Fourteen now comes in with 3% less lift than the X-12, 10% less drag, and actually 50% less wind buffering at speed. To say something like 50% less buffering at speed is absolutely mind-boggling, considering that the X-12 was such a high-end, and really is still such a high-end helmet from this manufacturer. Now, we all know wind buffering is a huge factor, especially if you're that guy racing on the track, doing track days. You don't want your head shaking around at high speed. Even day-to-day riding, wind buffering can be a big part of fatigue when you're riding on your motorcycle. So to come in at 50% less buffering is a huge number and a giant feat for SHOEI. I'm mystified by this number and can't wait to try this out for myself. All right, so moving forward, we're going to talk a little bit about the shield. This is a pin lock shield. This is a race-ready shield, so it's a quote-unquote flat shield. This is completely optically correct. It is ready for tear-offs if you care to use them. This shield is also interchangeable with the CWR1 shield, which the RF1200 uses. A lot of people are familiar with that helmet as well. This being the step up. Nice that the two can change over if you're bumping up. Also, additionally, with the CWR1 shield being compatible with this helmet, that means you can run SHOEI's photochromatic lens. Those are my favorite shields overall. The fact that you don't have to switch them in and out is a total bonus. You know, you don't have to switch back and forth from your dark to your light smoke. Moving forward, we're going to take a look at the base plate here. The base plate of this helmet is relatively unique and a very nice feature. So this is actually a spring-loaded base plate. If we take a close-up here, you can actually see that the springs pull in and suck the shield into the seal, the eye-port gasket seal of the helmet. This is a very nice feature. It's going to keep the shield really nice and tight up against that gasket on your eye-port. And this is going to aid in keeping down the wind noise to a minimum. And sticking with the base plate, this is a very quick change, toolless removal, which we would come to expect from SHOEI, but bam, one side, other side, right off, easy speasy. You don't have to do anything, you just press her back in tight, and we're good to go. Nice and easy, quick. If you do care to change, you don't want to run the photochromatic or whatnot, it is really easy. Moving on to the inside of our helmet. You're going to catch at first glance just the standard D-rings here. Nothing super special on the D-rings. They are a padded strap, always a nice feature as far as that goes. SHOEI does include a chin curtain in the box with the helmet. Does not come on the helmet when you order it. So one thing to note, everything is removable and washable. Standard as far as that goes. But SHOEI now incorporates an actual 5-piece liner. So you're going to have your cheek pads, you're going to have your top piece, and then there's 2 pads that are additional to the top cap of the liner on the sides. All of these are removable and replaceable with different sizes. This just totally makes this helmet 100% customizable as far as the fit goes. Now, that being said, the interior liner is also actually adjustable. It is a 4-degree adjustment on the interior. Now, 4 degrees may not sound like much, and I kind of giggled at it a little bit when I was learning about the specs of this helmet. But if you come to think about the guys who are wearing this helmet in MotoGP in a full tuck position at 200 plus miles an hour, 4 degrees could make or break the vision and the line that you see going down the track. So a really, really cool feature, and once again, totally customizable as far as the fit of the helmet goes. You can change out any one of the pads, like I said, 5 pieces. Additionally, on the inside of this helmet, the cheek pad cooling system, you can't really see it just checking out the cheek pads, but the air flows in through the EPS liner and actually has holes cut in the back side of the cheek pads themselves, and is going to flow air directly onto your cheek rather than up and around the helmet and just cooling you like standard. So really, really neat feature. One of, I think, the best bonuses and upgrades to the X-Fourteen. All right, so all in all, we have one amazing piece of artwork in a helmet. Nothing less than what I would call ordinary for SHOEI. They have really went above and beyond, keeping this helmet in the price point of the X12 with all the added benefits that we've just talked about. So that being said, we are looking at a price range solid starting at around 615 bucks. All the way up to around $750, $755, somewhere in that range for the race replica graphics. Your sizes are going to be extra small through 2X, like we had talked about before. Man, the cheek pad cooling system, the vents, the shield, it doesn't get any better than SHOEI. This is the flagship. This is the helmet you want. Get yours today at motorcyclesuperstore.com. Click the link below to subscribe to us on YouTube, and we'll see you next time.